Alright, guys, it looks like it's that time for another Twitch painting session here at Greyhawk headquarters. To say a happy evening and a great evening to our two mods I have in the chat this evening, to Violin and to Maggie. Hope you guys and gals are having an excellent evening. Tonight we're going to be doing some more work on the Sisters of Battle Sacrosanct. Same models that we began work on earlier in the week. We would have done more work, but I literally had to go get another pot of Mephiston Red. I ran out here on stream. So we're going to go ahead and get started. I'm going to take a little paint. And we're going to start thin that down for our operations this evening. Okay. I started the stream and completely forgot to grab my model holder. It's laying right over there. Live television. Okay. Alright, and as normal, viewers, if you have any issues with the audio, please feel free to let me know. I can mix everything right here live. But as I said, we're going to go ahead and get started. And we're going to start applying the Celestia Gray to the armor here. Okay. But yes, as we were discussing here in the chat, Maggie, clink the devil out of it. Well, or more pertinently, out of it. And that is that's a Bob Ross shot at the legendary Bob Ross. You know, God rest that man's soul. And we will get to hear the devil clinking later, all throughout the stream this evening. Okay, like I said, we're gonna go back. And what I did there is I didn't have quite enough paint out here on the palette. Absolutely. I learned almost everything I know about acrylic painting from that man. Well, between Mr. Ross and my Warhammer mentor, who taught me a lot of the techniques that are used in hammer painting. Some of them are transfers over from basic acrylic painting. Some of them not so much. Alright, so how's everyone doing this evening? What are we up to? Are we any kind of, what are we getting into this weekend? Me, unfortunately, I gotta get back, go to the grind. I gotta work. Retail, evil. How dare people want, food and groceries and items. People, ew. Not you people, though. Obviously, I love you people. I said, gotta get cleaning, gotta get done over the next couple of days. Okay. Yeah, I remember you said last night, Wednesday night, you had figured out how to get the mods to work on there. And also, the streamer I was referring to the other night about Stardew, Maggie is actually the husband of Mallowcat. who may or may not swing by later this evening. Yeah, Maggie does mods for my stream as well as Mallow's, who oddly enough is also painting right now. Not Warhammer, but I mean, hey, as long I mean, I'm okay with being cheated on as long as she's aware. That's all. Consent is sexy. That's all I'm saying. Consent is... The problem is though, I don't know if Twitch wife is okay with that. She's more monogamous, and to be perfectly honest, I am too. Let's just be honest about it. Okay, granted, yeah, well, maybe she did. Okay. All right, so like I said, on what we're working with here, these models, these are the Sisters of Battle, Celestian Sacrosancts. They are from the most recent big release of Sisters models, and they come 5 to a pack. See, and they run. Unfortunately, Games Workshop is very, very particular about this topic, so I can't give an exact points cost on it because of the way that they run their material. But the whole partial purpose of this unit is for bodyguarding other units. They have a rule that if a character, or specifically a friendly Battle Sisters character, is within a certain inch distance, I think it's 6 inches, then the character that they are quote unquote bodyguarding cannot be targeted or by ranged weaponry. So you have to basically, to touch anything that they're trying to bodyguard, you have to walk your model across the table and go get in hand-to-hand combat with it. That is assuming you don't just elect to try to shoot these girls out of the way. And they have a 3+ armor save, meaning that a 3 or better on the dice means that anything you do to them is negated. And that shield that they are rocking there means that 3, it adds a +1 to whatever you roll on the dice. So their armor save is technically a 2+ on a 6-sided dice. They are ungodly hard to kill, and they're really, really tough to shift out of position once they get stuck into an area. Yeah, and I was actually just 10 of these, and I have 15 now. I'm basically trying to work up to 30, about 35 or 40 of them, just depending on when I can pick up the models, when I can find the models, and when I can afford them. But they are, like I said, they come 5 to a box. You can have anywhere between 5 to 10 of the models in a unit. And like I said, that their almost exclusive purpose is just to bodyguard character units. And that halberd that they have in their this halberd right here that they have is what we refer to as the anointed halberd, and it does reach out and touch models in close combat. So it's, again, makes it very difficult to get around them. They're very difficult to move. It's probably probably the best in-game unit that was released for the most recent wave of the Sisters models. And like I said, I am currently running 5-girl squads of them. I'm going to be trying to do what I can to work up to larger numbers. Let's say, have any questions about anything that you see this evening, ladies and gentlemen? Feel free to give us a shout. Like I said, if Warhammer is your thing, if you don't know what kind of armies you play, if this is the first time you've ever been to the Greyhawk headquarters stream, appreciate your time, appreciate you stopping in. Feel free to make yourself known. We are a pretty friendly bunch here. But if that's not your thing, you prefer to stay a little shy, that's perfectly okay too. Lurks are awesome. Also, and ladies and gentlemen, let's raise up a glass for tonight's first. Clink the devil out of it. Here we go. Yay! Yep. First one of the night. All right. Okay, so we're going to keep looking around on the model. Okay, we need to get her backpack right here. We're going to keep looking around on the model for areas that are going to need to be done in the gray. Didn't mean for it to get this deep. Clarify? Yeah, it's like, Maggie, it's like basically it's like holding multiple conversations. Hey, you look. You started it, I'm running with it. Every streamer on here has some kind of, niche thing that they do, some kind of, personalized way that they stream. That's going to be ours. We're going to clink the devil out of it. Hey, it happens like that sometimes. Things, your creations take on a life of their own. Alright, and I just realized you guys can't see that. Also, something else. I don't know if you may have had questions about it. Oh, you have to ask that question about us sharing brain cells. You have to ask that question. Look, we know when each other is upset, and then you ask a question about sharing brain cells. For our order there, we're going to pick up the gray. Yeah, Greyhawk is painting gray paint. Well, more of this just I really like this gray. It's just the contrast of this gray or the red cloaks that I have the ladies wearing here is just a really nice contrast against that gray. And I said an update. I just received an email today that the next set of 3D prints should be ready within about the next half a week. As soon as we have those, I'll be showing those off on stream. We're going to be doing some painting on those as well, assuming everything turned out well. And my supplier is assuring me that it did. none of his prints have gave me any problems as of yet. And also, while I'm thinking about it, this also came to my attention here in the last couple of days. Viewers in the United States, in the North Carolina area, in the more appropriate, more specifically the eastern North Carolina area, but statewide, coming up May 14th and 15th that weekend, over in Kinston, North Carolina, will be having its first annual and first ever Renaissance Fair at the county fairgrounds. Tickets are going to be $20 ahead of time. It'll be $30 at the door. No cost for parking. Costumes are encouraged. And for more information, Google Down East Ren Fair. And get all the info you need there. Alright, so I'm going to leave this one up to the chat. Our previous sets of these guys, the helmets have been colored in this same gray. I'm leaving it up to you guys if you think we should take and follow that same suit and use this same gray that we see here. Are we going to do our helmets like that? Is that something you think we should look into? Because like I said, because here's an example of a partially completed version of what we're working on here. Let's see if we can get the camera to focus that in a little better. Okay, we're going to stay with the gray then, I guess. Gold, that's okay. I'm not sure if I have Retributor armor. I have a gold. But like I said, I'm not sure if I have that specific one. Tell you what. Let's stay with the gray for right now, but for in the future, let's do one with Retributor armor. That's a great idea. I hadn't thought about that. And that's primarily because of the fact that I'm pretty sure I don't have Retributor armor available right now. It does. That's valid. Not only do we clink the devil out of things, we shake the devil out of paint. Solely because shaking this paint gives it a nice, gets the pigment flowing. Makes the paint last a little longer too. And then when we apply the water and we thin it down, not only does it make it easier to work with so that it flows better, basically makes the paint, extends the life of the paint as well. Actually, you know what, guys? I wonder what the Retributor gold that Fanatic is referring to. I wonder what that would look like applied over the gray. You know what? That's a really good question. You know, we're gonna try that out here in a few minutes. We're gonna try that out. We're gonna see if I have a pot of Retributor armor, and we're gonna see what it looks like. Okay. I'm gonna pick that up. It was basically the question was regarding the color of the helmets. Say all of the other helmets on these ladies have this nice gray color on the helmet, and I was asking whether we wanted to stick with that pattern on these models, and Violin mentioned the possibility of using a goldish color that is made by the same company that makes these paints called Retributor Armor, and I'm not 100% sure if I have a pot of that, but she brings up a valid point. I wonder what it would look like over this gray. And she's right, it does have somewhat of a copper finish to it, and it might look well against the red of the cloaks. You know what? Screw it. I'm curious. I'm gonna see if I got a pot. Stand by, chat. Unfortunately, I don't. I don't think I do anyway. I have auric armor, flesh tone. Yeah, I don't think I have that color. Still looking around. I might stumble over it. Golden Griffin. Eldar Flesh. Ironbreaker, I didn't know I had. Okay. Looks like one thing. Yeah, that's one thing. Yeah, unfortunately, I don't have a pot of that. Yeah, it could be a white lid. It may or may not be the white lid. They changed the Oh man, my model broke. Yeah, but these are fiddly bits. It's fine. Yeah, they changed, but as I was saying, they did change the pots a while back. So the lid color may or may not be the same. All right, anybody else vibing off this background music tonight? I know I was last. I know I was Wednesday, but this is a different stream this evening. All right, clinking time. All right. So now we're gonna pull out. One finger or fist in red. Here we go. Let's drop that right here beside of our gold. And while we're getting this mixed up, take a moment to thank some sponsors this evening. Over in the corner of the stream, you're going to see two ads, as well as you're going to see an ad staring you in the face right here. It's a little hard to see because I've got it covered in paint palette. But Blue Ox Games over there in the corner is my local friendly game store in Greenville, North Carolina. Owner Harry Frank has been serving the Greenville community for many years. Also serves the gaming community of East Carolina University. It's where I buy the majority of my Warhammer, my 40k material. He also carries Yu-Gi-Oh, Pokemon. Probably the only store I know that still carries Cardfight Vanguard. But feel free to hit him up for something you're interested in. Blue Ops Games over in. Actually, let's try this. Let's see, is it in here? I don't know if I have the ad. Don't have it in tonight. Okay, we'll take a look at that later. See if we can pull that in. But BlueOpsGames.com ships everywhere in the United States. Not 100% sure if he ships internationally. He probably does, but I don't want to tell you a lie. Okay. And the other sponsor this evening, Knights at the Game Table. It's a Warhammer 40k community. Battle reports, tips, tactics, painting tutorials. Available knightsatthegametable.com. Now keep in mind it is not a free membership. I was, full disclosure, this was provided to me as well as a lifetime membership in exchange for a promotion of the community there. And even if I didn't have the lifetime membership, even if I was having to pay for it every month, it's still worth it. It is still 100% worth it. And probably one of the greatest things about it, to my opinion, is they're partnered with a game store out in Bastrop, Texas. Bastrop Hobbies, and members of Knights at the Game Table receive at my last understanding, a 20% discount on all things ordered through Bastrop. Like I said, they are not Bastrop isn't my local. That's why I tell you about Blue Ox. But if it's something you're interested in, if you don't have a local shop in your area, either Blue Ox or Bastrop, either one, great people to work with over there. And that other logo that you're seeing there, it's for Scion Sands of Time. Scion's a tabletop RPG, somewhat akin to Dungeons & Dragons, if you're familiar with that. It's made by White Wolf, the same company that does Vampire the Masquerade, Werewolf the Apocalypse, a number of those different games. Scion is a game about mythology. You are playing the sons and daughters of the gods of mythology. And how this happened is somehow the Titans of old have managed to escape the binds that were placed on them by the Olympians. And in order to solve that problem, gods have elected to begin siring children among the mortals again. If you're familiar with the Percy Jackson series, yes, it sounds remarkably close. If that's something you're interested in taking a look at, that's going to be coming up on the stream here late spring, early summer 2022. We are currently in the process of having customized artwork done for our characters there. We're working on plot. We're pretty much in post-production at this point. Again, that's going to be starting in the late spring, early summer. This coming up later this year. Our very own headset Amalga. I'm not 100% sure how she pronounces it, but we're just going to call her headset for now. Our very own headset here on Twitch is providing a large number of portraits and a bit of the artwork that you're going to be seeing in the stream. So again, if this is something you're interested in, check us out beginning late spring, early summer 2022. Also, Maggie here will be performing in that. So, something to look forward to for you guys. Okay. Oh, that got a little thinner than I wanted. I'm going to have to put some more pigment in that. And I'm also probably going to use this same, or or similar. Sorry, fanatic. Yes, I know. You're about to ride me for it. I'm well aware of that. But point being, I'm going to be using the same kind of background music that you're hearing here in the Scion stream. It just fits. I mean, it really does. Okay, keep working in the corners right here. A little bit of the fiddly work right there. I said, and unfortunately, I really do wish I had, a somewhat better camera, so you guys could get to see see more of the details here. But that's an issue for future Gray. And also new to the string this evening, if you want to take a look down there in the corner, it's my Amazon wish list. Don't feel obligated. But if that's something you would be interested in, I'll certainly appreciate a look. Alright, we're gonna keep working on the cloak. And in case anyone's curious, there is a reason why the colors that I use for the sisters here were chosen, or those specific choices were. Oh yeah, absolutely bougie. Absolutely. Shameless plug is what it was. Hey, every other streamer has it. Why not me? Thin that down a little more. Get that to flow better. Get that applied in the corners. This is a little bit brighter than what I was intending it to be, but it's okay. We can work with that. Hey, it's a new cloak. Hasn't faded out yet. Hasn't seen the dirt of combat. And once everything starts to dry, and we put a shade wash on here, it's probably going to darken it up anyway. Yep. Okay. But as I was saying, there is reasons why the colors that I've chosen were chosen. The red here is a nod to the Blood Angels chapter that I play. These girls are in the canon of that chapter, which is also a custom chapter. In the canon of that chapter, the girls here deploy alongside them and kind of assist where they can, cleaning up the worlds of 40k from Xenos and chaotic filth. More chaos than Xenos. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and get that little detail right there in. Okay, and now after this is going to be the very challenging part of this model, because there's some really, really, really minute details that I'm going to have to get to here, and not paint over other details. Mainly, there's a few little fiddly accoutrement that is included on the model, including there is a small pistol holster right in there. I'm gonna have to do some work to see if I can get that. See what I can do to get into that. Oh, yeah, there we go. Yeah, that red's darkening up a little bit. Ah, we're up to 4 viewers now. Congratulations! Thank you for stopping by. Thank you for coming by and seeing what's going on at Greyhawk headquarters this evening. I say appreciate you. If you feel up for it, feel free to introduce yourself. Tell us how you're doing this evening. If not, like I said, lurkers are absolutely okay. But full disclosure, I am looking for, we are looking for a little more action in the chat this evening, as the Twitch algorithm likes it when people talk. And I like what Twitch likes. Clink the Devils! Oh man, I didn't know about this song. This is really, I like this. I said it's the first time I've listened to this particular soundtrack. And what I've been doing for these streams is honestly, I'll just pull up something at random on YouTube. And this just happened to be what I stopped on this evening. But I'm definitely going to have to bookmark this one for the future. Yes, yeah, quite much. Well, we'll solve that problem later. We'll solve that problem later. Like I said, if I'm still on when Mallow finishes, and she's already promised a raid, or vice versa. If I finish before she does, I'll raid her back as well. Give this brush a little cleaning. So how's things going over in the Mellocat stream right now? Like I said, I've got her. I don't have her up so I can see what she's up to, but we can solve that problem. Take a look and see what's going on in Mellowcat land. Ah, yeah. Oh, is that wig still giving her issue? Yeah, she's probably gonna have to end up going with the hot glue gun. I know it's a lot messier to work with, but for sake of what she's trying to do, that might be the way to go about it. Well, she's also not styled it yet, so I got her up looking at it right now. She's not styled anything really yet, so agreed. We'll see how this pans out. Okay. Get that brush, clean that one out. I'm gonna change brushes here for a second. We got to do a little detail work. Let's see what color are we going to use for that. Well, no, you know what? We're going to go with the gold. But before we put that gold down, we're going to put down a slight base tone, brighten it up a little bit so the gold gets a better gold effect. What we're going to be using on this at this point, we're going to be using Wraithbone. This is a base color from Citadel. Take a little of that. Get that out. I'm going to get that nice and thin. And this one needs to be thinner, a little thinner than normal, I think. Okay. Carefully touch in that right there. And then once that dries, we'll go back on that. And we'll apply a layer of gold over that. Get that cleaned up. While we're at it, you know what? Why don't we just go ahead and start working on her staff as well? Do a little careful work here. So as we try not to work over the red that we just applied. Slide right in there. And like I said, I normally don't take this much time on individual models unless they're character models, but fuck it, I'm on stream. I'm gonna make her look good, or at least we're gonna try. And we're also gonna, a little later, we're gonna see, actually, you know what, while this is drying, we're gonna try it. We're gonna try that gold on you know what? I say let's cover up a bald spot. I say let it keep the bald spot. Gives it character. Makes it believable. It is practice. You're 100% correct. But let's, you know what? Let's take a look. Let's see how that gold on gray looks. All right, what we're working on right here between this T and S, we're gonna put a little bit of the gold, this gray down. We're gonna start letting that dry in. What we're going to apply is we're going to actually, you know what? I've got different golds here. We're going to do some experiments. Let's put down one more little block so we can experiment with that. And we're going to move one right here between the T and the H. And we'll use that for our little experiment. Super doll! Super doll, it eats itself. It can fly. Super doll. Yeah, they do come out very nice. You have a valid point there. Alright, so let's see if this is drying. Yep, not quite there. But the golds we're going to try this evening is, we got two of them here. My Gehenna's gold I've not messed with in a little bit, so we may not be able to get too much out of it. But we got a couple of different gold colors we're going to try. So we're going to give a shot at Gehenna's gold from Citadel. And we have a Auric Armor gold. Both of those are Citadel paints. And we have actually one of my favorite golds. This is Folk Art Metallic Inca gold. This is literally Walmart 50-cent bottle.
Yeah, 50 cent for this bottle. And it works just as well, to my opinion, as a good number of the Citadel bottles do. Let's check that again. All right, that looks like it might be good. All right, we're going to try the Inca Gold first. Right up here in the corner. Oh, wow. Wow, that dropped a lot of paint. Fortunately, those bottles are cheap. Well, inexpensive. I don't know about cheap. Okay, we're going to put down the Inca Gold over the gray. Get a good mix going. Yeah, it's 50 cent a bottle. And they also make them in these nice big bottles like this. These are like 250. They only make the I'll make primary colors in this bigger bottle though. And like I said, and you saw the size count for 50 cent. So this is basically a 2 ounce or a 59 mil for those of you not using metric, versus these bottles here, which are about zero point 0.3 of a milliliter. Excuse me, zero point 0.4 of an ounce, 12 milliliters in these bottles. Yeah, yeah, I've been thinking about that. I was actually thinking about that, Fanatic. We have to do the emote, but we have to get to affiliate so we can get them. No, what we do is we got to record. We got to record that for a hype train, and the emote's got to be the shaking bottle or bowl bottle. This is actually what this is. That is a glass baby food jar. I'm sorry, it works. Yeah, I'm all about hobbying on a budget here. All right, we're giving the the Auric armor, giving that a good shake up. And like I said, I literally have not touched this bottle right here in 2 or 3 years, so the paint itself might not even be of quality anymore. But we're gonna see what happens. Uh oh, are we frozen? Maybe not. Let's try our other source and see what's going on. Well, looks like we're good. Okay. All right. Auric Armor Gold over. Not what? Okay. Yeah. That's not gonna get the job done. That paint's gone. Retributor Gold is on the list for purchase at a later date, though. So just Fanatic, remind me about that. All right. So we're gonna see if the other gold. Yeah, that other gold's gone too. It. See, this is what happens when you don't touch your paint for literally years. So that one's not salvageable. Neither one of them are. But it reminds me of what paints I need to acquire. Unfortunately, I don't think those colors are made anymore. Or at least not by that name, I don't think. Alright, so what we're going to do now is we're going to start looking at doing this pistol pouch on the back of her armor here. And what I just dropped right there is Rhinox hide And no, Citadel does not come in these bottles. I purchased these bottles from a third-party vendor, and I moved a lot of these colors over there. And I wish they would come in the dropper bottles. It's so much easier. But unfortunately, you know, Citadel chooses to use the pots there. Like I said, and I'm not really going to have to do a lot of thinning with this one. This one's very heavily thinned already. Take a look at, there we go. All right. And this is going to be probably going to be a little bit of a challenge to see on stream. But under her backpack, there's a little pistol holster right there. And that's what I'm working on at the moment. I'm being very careful to keep the rhinox hide in these little small places right here so that it doesn't bleed over into the red of her cloak. And while we're at it, we're going to take a look and see, oh yeah, there is some right there that can use it. I'm going to take a look and see if there's anywhere else on the model that it would be worth it to hit with this color. And I do see several other small places. And what this is, this Rhinox hide, it almost dries to something like a leather color finish.
Yes, leather is a thing in the 40k universe. Don't let them fool you and tell you it isn't. Devil! Devil clinking.
Oh man, I'm gonna do a little cleanup right there. So it looks like she bled a little on her leg. So we're gonna go in there and we're gonna clean that up while I'm seeing it. It happens. This happens every now and then. Like I said, you get a little you start moving on to other parts of the model and you find little mistakes that you made. But like I said, the cool thing about acrylic is you can come right in here and you can clean that mistake right up, just like that. Like it never even happened. It's a happy little accident, as Master Bob would say. Cleaning that. Alright, where do we want to go next on this? Oh, yeah, that's where we want to go. Let's go back to the Wraithbone. Let's go back to the Wraithbone and let's work some more on the staff half of the halberd there. Okay, we're going to put our Wraithbone down. Take our water. First of all, let's get this brush cleaned up a little bit. Dry this off on our glove. Alright, so we're gonna come here, we're gonna pick up some of this Wraithbone. We're gonna go back in, we're gonna start working again on another layer on the staff. Still not 100% sure if I'm gonna keep it at this color, but for now it's a nice contrasting base tone against what she already has on her person. Flip over to the other side. We're going to do the same thing again. Okay. Yeah, that brush, I'm going to have to put that brush in the rehab this evening. And what I mean by that is I actually have a chemical that I clean these brushes in. Excuse me while I hydrate momentarily. But as I was saying, I have a chemical that's almost like a soap that I clean these brushes in that helps keep them lasting a little longer. Because unfortunately, as I said, this is not the cheapest, most inexpensive hobby in the world, and brushes are a major cost investment when it comes to the hobby. Because a good brush will save your life. And I'm not necessarily saying, notice I didn't say an expensive high-priced brush, a good brush. No, they didn't try to make you go. They tried to make I make the brushes go to rehab, and they do occasionally say no, 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 and I have to throw them out. But I'm able to salvage a lot of them. That brush soap was probably the best thing I ever found out about in this hobby. That's the same brush soap that even watercolor artists like to use. Apply that again. See if I can pick up some more. But you're here. That's what counts. Straight up, to be perfectly honest, what I'm really doing with doing this paint on the staff here is I'm actually racing Mallow to see which one of us can get to a finished stream first. And you can feel free to tell her that too. And I've also never been rated before, and I'm kind of excited that it might happen. Yes, yes, you can feel free to tell her that. I'm basically racing to see which one of us gets to the gets to do to initiate the raid first. Also, imagine before I forget this, Fanatic. You'll be interested in this. Fanatic actually holds a classics degree. It is classics, isn't it, Fanatic? Or correct me if I'm wrong on that one, but I'm almost sure her degree, actual wording on her degree, is in classical literature. I think it's classical. I think she holds an archaeology degree with a minor in classical lit, or something like that. Yeah. So she holds the classics degree. I hold the business degree. So between the two of us, we can figure out how to make people pay to be educated. We can make our own college. And thus the reason why. And feel free to slap me through the internet, Fanatic, if this you didn't want this known yet. But she's also been considering in the future teaching some of those languages here on Twitch. And I was the first to tell her to be careful and not summon anything from from the depths from the depths with those languages, and just make sure that certain things aren't supposed to be said out loud. Cthulhu has taught us a lot about that. Thanks HP. gonna come in here. We're gonna put some of that Wraithbone on the flare here, so we can put some highlight on that later. And but actually, Maggie, I didn't actually intend to. I didn't intend to race her, but I'm getting into a little groove here with the painting. And now that I'm in the groove, I might as well go ahead and and ride the wave. I don't have to go to my other job, my actually paid for job, until late tomorrow. So we're gonna take what time we can, what time we have, and make it happen. All right, what I'm doing right there is I had a little bit of bleed over on my color there, so I'm gonna clean it up. Hey, I think I know this song. I think I've heard this one before. Okay, used to be afraid of the Eldritch. Discovered that Lovecraft was afraid of non-Odyssean geometry. Help me realize the chances are that they just do some highly mathematical shit that we can't comprehend, involving a ton of extra dimensions. And now I'm curious of them rather than fearful. Huh. Just be very, very careful when you in the doors that you open there, Maggie. Just be aware. Once some doors, once opened, are very difficult and sometimes not possible to close. Yeah, I have heard this tune before, but I can't place a name for it. Thought it was Into the West there for a minute, but it's not Howard Shore. There's not enough brass in it. Some touch-ups on the shield. Okay. Alright, where do we go to next on here? Where do we want to go? True, yes. Zimmer, because Bruckheimer's there's too much vocal in it for it to be Bruckheimer. Did I just lick this brush? Yes, I did. Am I ashamed of it? Absolutely not. Acrylic paint is non-toxic, for those curious. Yep. Alright, we're going to come in here. We're going to start working some more, do a little more detail on the staff here. And this one just sounds like Within Temptation made a soundtrack. I'm sorry, it does. think we're gonna do her gloves or her gauntlets tonight. We're gonna do those in gray as well. We're gonna do the bolt pistol that she's carrying. We're gonna pull out our favorite silver. We're gonna set up her bolt put the color on her bolt pistol. I said, and one of the other reasons why I moved this paint out of these little bottles to the larger bottles is, one, doing it by dropper, I can kind of control how much paint is being applied to the palette, and two, what I did was when I put them in these containers or in these bottles, I put a little bit of water and a little thinner in there, and basically I've got this thinned down to where when I put it on the palette, it's already thin and it's going to flow a little better. And all I got to do is basically just put just the barest tap of water into it, and it will thin down nicely so I can use it. And basically what it is literally just tap water, and it is a flow improver chemical from a company called Vallejo. And then the rest of the bottle is filled with the acrylic paint. I've been doing that for about a year now, and that procedure has not failed me as of yet. And the flow improver that I'm using is literally it's airbrush flow improver. Good evening. I've got a few more viewers have joined the chat. Thanks for stopping by in Greyhawk World. If you feel so inclined, drop us a wave there in the chat. Tell us what you're up to this evening. Are you 40K fanatics? Have you never even heard of 40K? Is all this stuff foreign to you? Or if you're, if you're more the shy type, that's okay too. A lark is perfectly fine. I think she's coming out very nicely, if I do say so myself. Pulled away. And Magic, because I know this will interest you, this little holder that I'm using right here is a prescription medicine bottle with a bit of poster tack applied to the top right there. The poster tack was literally $1 at the dollar store. The bottle I already had. Now, Games Workshop sells something similar to this that they literally call it what they call a painting handle, for something like $20. And people are still buying those painting handles. And I don't get it. I don't understand, why you would. I don't understand why putting that much money, why you would put that much money into something that you can, make for literally just a couple bucks. But I guess to each their own. So, yeah, like $20 US for the painting handle. Now, granted, they do make one that's got these really nice alligator clamps on the side of them that helps hold the model in place while you paint it, but it's still not worth $20. I'm sorry, it just isn't. And if you don't want to do something like that, you can literally I've seen people take wooden dowels and make one out of take literally like a nice about yay big or yay circumference wooden dowel and put the the poster tack on the end of it and get the same thing. Yes, we improvise and jerry rig the shit out of stuff in Greyhawk headquarters. Yes, we do. Because, like I said, I'm all about the hobby on the cheap. Alright, I'm going to pull out my favorite silvered metallic here. Not sure if I'm going to need to thin this one or not, because they changed the paint formula on me on this one a couple of weeks ago. So I don't know if it's going to be the same as what I'm accustomed to. Oh yeah, that's going to have to be thinned significantly. Or this is going to have to be shake the devil out of this one. Yeah, shake with both hands. Yeah. I'm ambidextrous. I can swim sideways. I'm amphibious. Alright. Drop that out on our palette. There we go. Get a little water as normal. I'm going to start thin that down just a tad. Get that shook up. Alright, we're going to start working on the little pistol here behind her shield. And no, nothing, I have not done anything at all to make that silver, to give this silver that much sheen. It's naturally in the finish of the paint. It's just like I said, it's just the way that paint, just the way that this particular paint is, is made. Put a little silver with that white right there. Help pick that out. Okay. You know what? We're gonna put a little silver on the grenade right there too. Give it a little bit of a metallic sheen. Anything else we need? Other areas of note? Yes, there is. There's one right up here in the corner. We got a little bit of red that overflowed, so we could go back in with our gray and clean that up. Okay. Water applied and thinned. I'm surprised. Surprised Mr. Kingskull hasn't showed up this evening. We might have lost him in the sauce. Who knows? All right, he's down there in Georgia, where the internet is terrible. Almost internet as bad as North Carolina. Or over in the People's Commonwealth of Virginia. And next, don't at me. I'm Southern. I can make those jokes. Alright, we'll step over to the Book of Faces momentarily. See what's going on over there. Hey, Mama Hawk is on. I swear this internet, not with that horrible of impersonations. All you remember about the South is that was what someone once told you what happens when you ask someone in Louisville, Kentucky, how do you get downtown? My daddy takes me. I don't know. Never really spent any time in Kentucky. I've spent some time in Tennessee. Spent a little time in Texas. Spent some time in Virginia. All of this military duty, so I don't know if we can really count it. No. Do not bring that bastard into this chat. I've already had to shut him up once tonight. Because if you make me pull out the accent, it's gonna be a bitch to put him back in. Because I will get stuck in the accent and it won't go away. You know, it's funny you mention that because apparently I have been told that apparently there is an unofficial fan club for that character, and for the character, not for the performer. I don't know how that happened. And the thing that bothers me about that is that, you know, Marquez is not a good person. He's never was meant to be. And yet somehow it just it just happened. Georgia. I'm not sure if it's Georgia or Georgia. Like I said, I don't know enough people that hold that accent to know if it's hard to copy it. All I know is that he in Heat of the Night got the accent horribly wrong. Even Carol O'Connor couldn't save the accent on that one. Georgia. Georgia. Georgia on my mind. And just like it's not New Orleans, it's Nolans. 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 Down there in Shreveport. See, there you go. You done made me fucking start it. I love you, but damn. There we go. Alright, so I think she is about set as best as we could do on her. No, let's take that back. We got a little more. We can work on. I will concede victory. Yes, you win. It's reasons like this is why a lot of painters choose to paint these things unassembled. You heard rumors that when the Olympics were held in Atlanta in '96, they didn't know what some of the sports were, So for fencing, they actually handed the contestants baling wire and sheet metal. It would not surprise me. It really wouldn't surprise me. And I know Fanatic is over there having an aneurysm because she fences. What is that? Is that a dancing cockroach? In that first, yeah, it's a dancing cockroach. Wow, good job, Twitch. Awesome job, Twitch. Well, if I'm not mistaken, I believe it has French origin. Cool, cool. I'm sorry. I'm just I'm slightly I'm apologies for that. I'm slightly entranced by the dancing cockroach. Ah, okay. I'm gonna have to go check him out. No, well, we'll ask him when. Yeah, dancing cockroach. Go look back up in the chat at Fanatic's last little that first row of emotes that she dropped in there. The first emote is a dancing cockroach. Yep, and of course the illusionist would go with Magic of Life. And speaking of illusions, there, Madge. The remember I was telling you the other night that I'd worked in another beat to the bank robbers. Well, I ended up having to change that because I performed the illusion for a coworker, and they were able to catch the hand movement. So I'm gonna have to do a little work on it to improve my sleight of hand technique. Oh yeah, absolutely. Ah, Mello! There she is. Appreciate the raid, dear. For those joining over from the Mallowcat Playroom, appreciate you coming over. This is some Greyhawk Revenus that you've seen me over in Mallow's channel before. This is over here at welcome to Greyhawk headquarters. We're working on some Warhammer models this evening, working on a painting stream. Painters looking out for painters over here, apparently. So, how did it finally go, Mallow? Did you get that doll hair to ever work like you wanted it to? I know Maggie said you were having it was giving you some fits. Easier than a rewrote. Make a wig, Mallow. It'll be easier than a rewrote, Mallow. I'm sorry. I'm sorry if I'm laughing. It's. I needed that after today. I really needed that after today. All right, but so Mallow, like I said, welcome aboard. Hot glue, dear. I'm telling you, hot glue. Either hot glue or get this. If you can find this up in Canada land, this stuff saves my life. It's a little messy, but once it dries, it has saved my life. Once you're done being pissed off. Well, you did put a lot of work into that, so I'll give you that one. It was time consuming and annoying. For you, not for me. I enjoyed seeing it, but as a fellow crafter, I'm sure it was annoying. And also, Fanatic Meet Mallowcat. She is the Stardew streamer I was referring to. Mallowcat, Violin Fanatic, my Twitch wife. I say it's the same brand name. Is it actually Tacky Glue or is it Aleene's? Ah, okay. So that means you've worked with it before. Yeah. If it's yeah, invest in the tacky glue. Like I said, because it's not very expensive. At least that bottle wasn't. That is an 8 ounce bottle, and I think I paid like $4 or $5 for it. It's like I said, I've been using that same bottle for a couple of years now. Like I said, it gets because the glue itself, it just goes a really really long way. And it's the same glue that I use to when I do the flocking. Yes, flock. I know the term. I can flocking say it too. But yeah, I use that for doing the flocking on the bases here. You've used it for larger wigs. Fabric Fusion tends to work better than tacky glue, but it's such a tiny wig that the wefts kept getting tangled and ripping back off. Huh. Well, you'll get it figured out. I believe in you. You'll either get it figured out or say flock it and move on to another project. But I know you're too hard headed to just give up on it. Let's clink some devils. Devil clinking time. Yep. Let's say. I mean, I recommended the hot glue, but like I said, I know that hot glue is it's not the cleanest way to go about it. All right. So there we have it. That's a little about 2 hours of work from a black base coat. And this is pre-wash and pre-shading and pre-flocking. Actually, I did. That's valid. That's valid, Maggie. Devil's clinking their glass. I mean, after all, didn't you say I will say something about needing to grab a spot on Lucifer's council? Look, all I'm saying, all I'm saying is if some of the deals with the devil that I've heard, he really guy really needs a legal counsel. You'd rather clean hot glue than mess with fabric glue or tacky glue at this point. See, the thing that I would worry about with the hot glue is the fact that you're working with what looks to me like it was plastic, and I would be concerned that the hot glue would melt the plastic. I said, and I may be seeing it incorrectly. A lawyer that represents himself as a fool for a client. Yes, a lot of times he does. Okay. All right. So I think it's time to go ahead and start putting put us a nice shade on the model here. Hold on. Okay, well, let me make sure I read that correct, Fanatic. Did you mean pretty or petty? Because both are probably true. And also, second question: are you referring to Lucifer or me? Which is again probably both. And that's true. I mean, yes, I am a pretty fucking princess. Just saying. All right, and what I'm doing here, guys, is I'm applying a very special kind of paint. It's called Citadel refers to them as shades, but what this is it's a wash. This is called Noan oil. It's almost like a really watered down black wash. And if you're not familiar with what a wash does, this is almost like it is almost like an oil. And what it'll do is when I apply it to the model, it'll run down into the recesses here, and when it dries, it'll dry nice and dark, and it'll put a highlight or it'll put a shade in the darker parts of the cloak there, and it'll look like I've gone in and applied black paint to accomplish a shadow. So what we're doing is we're taking it and we're going to put this all over the model. And again, what I do is going to dry into the recesses and it's going to look like shade. Vinyl head dolls. Oh, they're vinyl. Okay, I thought they were plastic. I'm sorry. The vinyl head doll heads are fairly heat resistant. Can boil them, heat gun them, soak them in acetone to shrink them. I'd be amazed at how much abuse doll heads can take before they melt. Huh. Yeah, honest to God, thought that it would look like plastic. But, I've never worked with dolls, so how would I know? I'm actually terrified of dolls. All right, now I'm also going to extend for the new viewers coming in. I'm also going to extend the same invitation that I always extend. If you guys have any issues with the audio quality, if the background music ends up being a little too loud, feel free to just let it know. Maggie, don't you do it. Do not do it. Now that you know that, you have to use that knowledge. You have to use that knowledge responsibly. Do I need to give you the Spider-Man speech? Just saying, Mallow. Look, Mallow. If I had, I think I'm gonna have to give. I think I'm going to have to give him the Spider-Man speech. And yes, she does have to deal with me. Oh, I broke your Dremel? How'd you break it? I was wondering the same too, because that's Dremels they're meant to be put through abuse. It's like, how did you how did you and Matt pull that feat off? Yeah, yeah, I'm intrigued now. I like. Do you have like replay or or play by play on it? I mean, it's be something we can go back, John Madden style, and just look at the look at the slow motion. Oh, they know Fanatic. Both of them well know that dealing with me sometimes is a pain in the ass. We're still cleaning. All right, so like I said, the known oil. True, they aren't local. Metal rod that holds the sanding drum on bent is jammed inside. What the hell is jammed inside the Dremel body? You might be able to unjam it and get a new sanding drum attachment. And I don't blame you. Yeah, yeah. Now, yeah, I am. I'm confused as well. I'm slightly confused. Wow. Just I'm having to give you the Owen Wilson here. Wow. And that right there is why I'm terrified of them, Maggie. Huh. But yeah. But as I was saying about the known oil, as we can see here, once my once the camera decides to focus. I've never seen one do that before. Just kind of held it up at the camera light. So that happened. Yeah, that's new to me too. Yeah, that's impressive. All right. Yeah, like I said, I'm trying to get this camera to focus up for me. So let's do this. Let's kill the light for a moment. Might be able to do a better job of focusing at that point. And I do apologize for the potato quality here without the light. There we go. It looks a little better. Yeah, like I said, the known oil has come in there, dried in very nicely. And like I said, what it does puts a little bit of shadow and shading in the recesses of that cloak. All right, so we're going to pull our light back. And now comes the next part of our modeling journey. We're going to start working on the flock. What, the flock? All right. And also that light that you just saw me turn on and off, Mellow, that's the same one that I linked in your stream. So you could see the difference. You could see the difference in the light. And like I said, if you want to catch it again, here it is without the light. This is with it turned on. And the cool thing about this is it actually has different coloring. So that's my blue, that's more of my yellow, and that's more of a white. So we're going to move to that. We're going to move to this nice little amber yellow right here. Flocking hell, yep. Flock is such a fun word to use, especially when captions mess up and think I said the other word. Yeah, but your captions hate you anyway. Like I said, we've established this. We've established this for months now. Mallow and captions are just not good friends. Alright. So here we go. We're going to take this tacky glue. And we're going to start applying it onto the base of the model right here. And no, if anyone's curious, I'm not destroying a brush for the purpose solely of glue. The brush that I'm using here is a glue application brush. The bristles are not hair, they're rubber. Okay. I'll work that in there. I'm going to push that away. We'll come over to the other side. All right, go lurk. Go lurk. Get some sleep there. I'm really fortunate. I work late tomorrow, but yeah, go get some sleep, love. Yeah, they were a really good investment. I said I found them at Jesus' hobby store. But yeah, I feel like they were a really good investment for me at least. Like I said, you got take it easy, fanatic. Love you, dear. Okay, so I'm gonna try not to. I can't. No promises. I work with the public. No promises. I'm not gonna break anything. All right. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna take a little. Where is it at? Where are you at, brush? Where are you at? Where are you at, filbert brush? You know, I can use the other glue brush. Alright, so we're going to take a little bit of our, take the flock here. And what I did, this is literally sand, is like a, it's almost like a kitty litter grit. I picked up the silicone brushes mainly for working epoxy clay, but they're good for glue too. You prefer an old paintbrush that's already done for large applications, or that's just personal? Which part are you referring to? Oh, this, yeah, it needs to be changed. You're right. But yeah, what I did is this, the flock that I'm using here, this is Ballast. Is literally, it's Woodland Scenics. They make products for model railroads. And this is their, the fine ballast flock. But what I did is I've also mixed in a bit of talus rocks in here as well. And basically just what I do is when I give it a good shake, it'll mix it up real nice so it doesn't look, so it's not uniform. And if you want it to look more realistic, you don't want it uniform because nature itself is not uniform. So we're going to start applying more on there. I'm going to tap off the side. Yeah, we're not clink pots. We're going to clink plastic tonight. And we'll come in here and we're going to clean the sides. And what we're doing here is we're taking the edge of the brush there. As you see that this is not a, that brush has a little bit of a dip in it like that. What I'm doing is I'm using the dip of the brush right here against the edge of the base to kind of clean away any excess flock. Okay. And we're gonna switch over. We're gonna grab one of our. There's the filbert brush. Okay. Tappy tappy, tap tap tap, tap away. Okay. All right. She's gonna go back on the model holder for now. Because we're going to make one last work. We got one more thing. Actually, no, we got two more things we got to do on the sister here. Because we have to paint the lip of the base. It's almost a, it's not required per Games Workshop or anything like that, but I think it just adds a nice, a nice touch to break up that, soul-crushing black of the base right there. So what we're going to do is we're going to use Kislev flesh is what we're going to try. This might not quite be, might be a little too thin to do it because Kislev is a layer, which means that it's naturally a little thin. The base colors that they use are naturally a little thicker, and thick or thin. One last beat, one last devil. What's one last devil, guys? Hey, that's not being painting the rim of the boost. Yeah, English. Painting the rim of the base is not bougie. That is old school GW tactics. Ask B next time you ask B about it. So it's going to be a little thinner than I need it to be. But let's try it with that, try that Rhinox hide for now, this time. See what we get with it. Oh yeah, there we go. That'll work. That'll dry for me. And chat, got a question for you. What do we want to name her this evening? What do we want to name our sister here? Typically the speaking of chocolate, that's almost a chocolate brown color. What are we gonna name our sister here? Is they typically have Italian names, as they are based. Their lore is is based very heavily in Catholic nundom. But let's give her a name this evening. Let's give her a name that we can put on the base. Margaret Mary Luke John. And I like it. A little too on the nose for 40K, but I like it. We you know what, we might we might go with Sister Margaret. That might be the winner if no one else has any ideas. Let's see, Fanatic, Magi, or Fanatic, Mallow, any ideas? Sick de yeah. I know I just horribly mispronounced that. Well, she's not the superior, so I don't know about War Sister. The superior is actually right here. The superior is the one with the spear. So we're gonna paint her up on stream too. Well, actually, we're gonna paint this. Probably it's not gonna be tonight, but we're gonna work through this whole squad. Well, I'll figure that out. No, we're gonna put a little more detail on that base. I don't. That's a little bland. I don't quite like what that looks like. Go back. I'm gonna get a little more tacky glue here. Right there. Let's put some in the corner. Now the other thing I really like about tacky glue is the fact that it goes on white, but it will dry clear. It's almost like Elmer's glue. It's like a mix between Elmer's glue and PVA. Croix de Liberté. Huh. I love how I say that they're normally Italian names. Everybody starts pulling out French. Yeah. We're gonna put a little bit of put a rock in there. Damn tweezers! Stay on there. I guess that's what I get for making fun of Mallow Cat and her hair situation. It might not dry well, but we'll check it tomorrow. See what it comes out as. You know what? So far, I like Margaret. Did you ever tell me about how you got a little shitbag who always kept calling me myself the R word in Spanish? No, you didn't. I don't think you did. Anyway, it doesn't sound that story doesn't sound familiar. So we're gonna have to thin this down really, really thin for this one. Yeah, we're gonna have to thin it really, really, really thin with the color here. Okay. Alright, like I said, I'm literally putting the name on here right now. So it's just being a little bit, it's just a little bit of detail work that takes time. Hey, sometimes you gotta pull shit like that. Hey, sometimes you do what you gotta do, man. Sometimes I ain't mad at you. It's as bad as the one I threw off the bully of mine in high school at our middle school. Or junior high is probably what you more know it as. A bully in junior high that I yeeted off the bleachers in the gym. Never had a problem with him again. So, ladies and gentlemen, Sister Margaret of the Order of the Sanguine Chalice. Painted in. She's got one more step. All right, excuse me. She's got two more steps. It's gonna have to be done. But Sister Margaret of the. Now we do Sister Mary and Sister. No, we can't do Sister Catherine. We can't do Sister Catherine because there's actually in lore there is a Sister Catherine for the Battle Sisters. Hey, first time viewer. Welcome aboard, good friend Vincent. So what you up to tonight there, Vincent? You 40K player? You into this whole thing? And we are drinking Crimson because this order of the Crimson Chalice is a companion order to my Blood Angels. And the Crimson Chalice is a reference to the chalice that's carried by the sanguinary priest. 40K is life. What army do you play? Or armies? Now I can't say long live the emperor. Custodies goes cheap. Yep. I was looking at their at the gaming club. I was looking at their book the other night. We have a player who's getting ready to get into them. Yeah. This Sister Margaret here, Vincent. She is basically, this is about 2 hours worth of work. And I still have the first pass of the first wash of Known oil has been applied. She's got one more step to go back and hit the highlights after the oil, and then we're gonna put the matte varnish on her, and we're gonna call Sister Margaret complete. Let's see, we're gonna take one last pass. Here's Sister Margaret. And that is, since you'll be familiar with it, Vincent, this is a black undercoat. And not even GW black, it's literally Walmart Apple Barrel black. That is the undercoat. That is Mephiston red with Celestia gray. The silver on the bolt pistol is Apple Barrel metallic. Sterling silver. Hey, I like their paint though. I like Citadel paint, which is why I don't really. I consider it GW, but it's really not GW. Citadel was kind of its own thing. That's the only thing that I really do. They make good paint. They make halfway decent brushes. But I will tell you this, here at Greyhawk headquarters, we're all about hobbying on the cheap. And I found that I can create I can create, I'm not going to say Golden Demon quality, but I can create the same looks that the Heavy Metal team creates with non-Citadel paint. But I just like Citadel because it's readily available in my area. Vallejo is very tough to get in my area. Army Painter is a challenge, and because even like this Tamiya weathering powders, I had to have those. I had to special order these. Which, granted, the fact is that I could order them, but I mean, it's not like I could just walk in and have them. They were on the shelf. Which also, for the guys that are not familiar with what this is literally a little compact. And what we do is we take that little brush right there and we dab these powders onto the areas that we want to put this material. And what it does is, as the powder dries, it weathers into the corner, and it almost makes it look a little more realistic. Eastern North Carolina, Vincent. Yeah, about the only thing that my shop carries has been Citadel and Turbo Dork, and Turbo Dork doesn't give the look that I'm going for. I have one of the my signature paint style is that more aged antique look, and Turbo Dork gives more of gives almost like a color shift sheen, and it doesn't really work for what I'm going for. I'm gonna be soon starting Lumineth for Age of Sigmar, and I may try it with that. Oh yes, I've already invested in a printer. I've definitely invested in a printer. 3D printer, go brr. As a matter of fact, actually, let me grab it real quick. I've actually got a sister's bust that was a 3D print that I've painted on stream here that I've got to get back to painting her as well. A random fork laying on the table. Wow. That's what you get for living in an apartment without, living in a communal kitchen. But let me grab that bus, and she was a 3D printer. All right, so here we go. All right. Yep. She was a 3D print. Yeah, when I say communal living, it's basically I have my own bedroom, have my own kitchen, and I share a bathroom and or actually I share a bathroom. I have my own fridge, but I have access to a kitchen, and we have a communal bathroom and shower. And I rent this little apartment from my grandmother. And like I said, I still got to get back and do some more work on the print on this bust. But she was a 3D print. Basically, she was scaled up from a seraphim model that I had, and I scaled her up to this size and switched out the packs for the standard pack instead of the wings. Favorite Trader Legion. I'm not a huge Chaos guy, but of what I've played against, to be honest, I have the most fun playing against Death Guard. Just because, I'm sorry, the Plague Burst crawlers are just filthy good, and I want something similar to that in Imperial armies. And we used to have it. It was called a Devastator, Demolisher Cannon. And they destroyed that when they changed the rules, but I digress. Alright. And also, Walla. Fart smeller. Yep. Alright, and let's go ahead. I'm going to give you so you can have an idea here of the sizing on the bust here. I said she is from the bottom of the corset, pretty much to the crown of the head. She is roughly 65 or 6-ish millimeters. So she was roughly doubled up in size from 32 mil. Actually, I watched the same gentleman who's getting ready to go into Custodes. I watched him smack a Death Guard army all over the table last night with his Blood Angels. I think they ended up calling the game because we were getting ready to go get food. They ended up calling the game at something like 45 to 20 something or something like that in turn 4 or something. I said I wasn't really keeping a very, very close watch on it, but oh yeah, Custodes are cheap. So much gold though. Invest in real gold to afford the paint to keep them painted where they need to be. All right, and what I'm doing here is this is literally a can of compressed air. And what I'm doing is I'm very, very lightly putting very, very light pressure on the trigger just to get a little air flowing. And I'm doing this so I can speed up the drying process on the paint just a little bit.
it's almost like using a hair dryer on it, but I'm using cold air instead of warm air. And what it also does is it'll move any paint that's still liquidy, any that's overly liquefied. It'll take that paint and move it around so I can see where that paint is liquefied at. Alright, so I think we got her. Yeah, like I said, I was looking at the Custodes book last night, and my God, you guys are strong. Somewhat. I'm not a real big, huge lore guy. I'm more of the I really more enjoy playing the game and painting more than I do the lore itself. Which that's why I'm not, I'm not very, very up on the Trader Legions. Start packing her back in. I mean, I know the basics of how the story works, but I no doubt. It's just it's at this point, who has time to read? I don't get the time to read 37,426 books that are covers the story that covers the Horus Heresy. That's what wikis are for. I know, sacrilege that I just said that, but my stream. So I'm going to get my brush soap out, and we're going to clean up for the rest for the night. I can find where I put my brush soap. Oh, there we go. There's the tub. All right. And this is the chemical that I was referring to earlier that I use to clean and condition the brushes. And like I said, and this is literally made by a company called The Masters. And they make a lot of different painting supplies. Like I said, and that's basically, if you're going to get into this hobby, I definitely recommend you get a tub of this. And it will last for god awful ever. I just replaced this tub right here. This is the tub that was the replacement. I just replaced a tub that was the smaller version of this, basically about, probably I'd say maybe about that much in the tub. I just replaced that last year, and I had it since probably 2013. And when I say replace, it's more, the only reason I had to replace it is because the soap itself had just ran out. But, 2013 versus 2022, it's almost, literally years, and I didn't have to go and buy any. Alright, and what we're going to do is we're going to take and work this material into the bristles of the brush. I'll get back in the water. Yes. Alright. Get us a good lather on here. And we were talking about GW products. This actually is a Citadel base coat brush that I'm cleaning here. Alright, then we're going to go pull it down to a nice point. Or as nice as pull it down to as much of a point as we can get. Alright, now we're going to push this off to the side, give it a good wash out. The other cool thing about this soap is you don't have to take the soap out of the bristles. You can literally leave it right there in it, and it will soak down into the bristles and give them a good cleaning and conditioning. And the brushes themselves don't even necessarily have to be clean when you do this. You see this that grayish black area right there is literally paint that I had worked out of previous brushes that I had, basically brushes I had recovered from the brink of death. But between this brush soap and just, between this brush soap and almost like Dawn style liquid dish soap and just warm water, I've saved so many of these brushes. And as I've said before, good brushes are essential to this hobby. And again, notice I didn't say expensive brushes, good brushes. Okay. So what you up to tonight, Vincent? You got anything going on? Pull that out to our neck. Get that out. See, we're also going to be working on a little later in probably about a good month or so. Basically, as I have time to get to it. I've got a box of Age of Sigmar Crew Boys back there that are waiting to be made table ready. So we'll be taking a look at those at some point. We're going to be taking a look at my Blood Angels over the course of this channel. So yeah, there's roughly about 3 projects that are more work in progress that are ongoing right now. And invite any of you guys to come back by, check out the channel whenever you have time for continued updates on that channel. I currently do not have an Instagram or a professional Facebook. That's something I'm kind of working on it as I have time. But like I said, appreciate you guys stopping by. Appreciate you hanging out here in the bunker. I said I don't necessarily have a regular streaming schedule. I'm trying to get on one, but it's just it's not working out right now. But maybe one day I'll be able to hit affiliate and I won't have to worry about that. And this will be my schedule. But, guys, we have been going for about 2 hours 40. And I do have to get up in the morning. It is 12:25 local time here. 12:25 at night. So at this point, we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna start wrapping up this evening. So just a brief recap. Tonight we worked on the now newly inducted into the Order Sister Margaret. Sister Sacrosanct, Margaret, of the Order of the Crimson Chalice. We basically got her to tabletop standard. We're gonna next couple streams. We're gonna be bringing her up to a more professional quality, but that is a stream for the future. Oh yeah, thanks for stopping by, Maggie. It's good to have you in. Like I said, stay tuned in the future. We're trying to get this thing up to where we can, where it's going to be a regular Tuesday night stream with a few pickup streams here and there, but it's just not in the cards right now, guys. But like I said, just stick with me, and over time we're going to work on improving these cameras, improving this setup, and I will see you guys on the flip side. And again, this has been Greyhawk